Hey, this is John, host of Mgtow is Freedom. I love sitting down with you guys. It's a beautiful, clear day out. It's colder than a witch's titty, but it's a beautiful, clear day out. Clear evening now. I've got my Arturo Fuente double chateau with Maduro wrapper. And I've got my scotch. This time, it's a Glenfiddich 18-year single malt. And it is outstanding. All right. So the subject I'm going to cover is the word that men just love to say, right? Love. Isn't love wonderful? Oh, I was in love. Love this and love that. Right? I love this thing and I love that thing. What a stupid word love is. We use it so casually, we might as well say love is the same as water or air or something else. It's just thrown around so casually. Oh, I love tacos. Oh, but I love my wife. Is your wife a taco? Are they synonymous? Are they the same thing? I mean, what the fuck are we talking about love? I think love is a lot of things. But it's caring about someone. You know, caring. Caring for and to care for. I think the problem that we Mgtow men have is that we've realized that there is a vacancy in love in this world. It seems like men are now the custodians of love, because I'm not seeing a whole lot of love from feminists. Women used to be the custodians of love. Men had to go out, bust their ass in the fields, at their jobs, in the coal mines, on the battlefield. Men busted their ass, and they wanted a little care, a little affection. So they would go to their women, whether they were hookers or some barmaid or their wives, and they would get the love they needed, the affection, the attention, the caring for, personally, being cared for, loving. Well, women don't do that anymore. Women are so busy worrying about themselves that they don't love. They're completely gone out of the fucking picture. What happened, guys? I'd like to hear or read your opinions. But I'll tell you where I think it went. I think it went right out the fucking window with feminism. I can give you an example. My wife wanted a job when I was married. So we sat down and talked, meaning I came up with the fucking idea and she thought it was a great one and executed it. And that was that she goes to nursing school. She learns a good trade, she can get a good job, make money, and the world, no matter how the economy is doing, can use a nurse. Right? There's always going to be sick people, they'll always need nurses. Pretty fucking smart, huh? I don't know why she couldn't come up with that. But she took full advantage of that. She went to school for several years, got her degree. Learned that I was right. Yeah, it's a great fucking trade. Good to have. Make lots of money. Now, what that did was that allowed her to say, I don't need a man now. Believe me, we'll get to the rest of the story. She couldn't have been more wrong about that part, believe me. Anyways, that allowed her to execute her plan. She went out of town. She would not get a job in town, meaning locally. She had to drive always an hour and a half to a hospital for some reason to find a job. What she found out was that she could take care of herself. She didn't need a man. Therefore, she didn't need to love anybody. She traded the nurturing, loving wife role for one of selfishness, self-centeredness, full-on materialism. She completely abandoned love. If she ever had it in the first place. I don't think she really did. Any hope for it, the women just don't seem to have. And this is my personal story. Right? She would go for anywhere from 7 to 12 days in a row, gone, never coming home. And it's not just that she abandoned her love for me. She abandoned her sons. Oh, she'd come home. She could call and say, I love you, but she wasn't there to give the love. See, there's lots of ways to express love in an affectionate way. Not the way we love tacos, or hamburgers, or filet mignon. Not the way I love a good stogie and a scotch. But to be there for somebody means to love them. To care for them emotionally is to love them. To care for them physically is to love them. Rub their back, make them food, share with them, right? And I think men are really good at that. You know why I say that? Because we love as men very, very well. You have to have love in your heart to start. Have to love yourself. If you know and care for yourself and have respect for yourself, you have self-love. And then you can go from there and you can go out and love others. If you create children, men love their children. How do we know that men love their children? Because they love other things, like their dog. It's a weird kind of affection, but you can love a dog. I love that dog. It's cool. You pet it, right? It brings you your slippers. It's good, right? Men love each other. We call that brotherly love, right? When your friend needs a ride, you help them. When they need to talk about something tragic in their life, someone dying or their girlfriend leaving them, you care for them, you love them, right? You invest the time in them emotionally. Men are not afraid to do that. We're not. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing unmanly about that. Men also love women. We do. Now, fast forward to today, men, who are you going to love? Can you love a feminist? Well, men want to love women, but can you love a feminist? You can't, because they have no love for you. All they care about is themselves, much the same way all my ex-wife cared about was herself. Was worrying about her career and not wanting to come home. Was worried about staying away so that she could fuck around with other men. What kind of love is that? Abandoning her children 50% of the time so she could worry about herself. Now, of course, we can all forgive, and kids can understand that parents have to work. Women included, moms included, wives included. But they don't love anymore. So is it the feminist philosophy that has ruined them? Is it their mothers that ruined them? Is it the media that ruined them? As women, as real women? Well, I think it's all of those things. See, men love basically through their actions, through their hard work, through our strengths, our virtues. That's how we love. We show love for our family by breaking our fucking backs. Men are disposable when it comes to fighting an enemy, whether it's a bear at the entrance to the cave or whether it's a fucking Russian bear at the border, right? We're going to stop the enemy. And we're willing to throw our lives down because we don't value ourselves or because we do value ourselves. We know how valuable we are to our children, how much we love them. We're willing to do that. Same for our women. Same for our country. Love of country. That is how full of love men are. And caring for women used to be a big part of that. Right? What do men want? We want a sandwich and we want a blowjob. Let's just break it down to simple terms. Sandwich and a blowjob. Hey, how fucking hard is that? Women love to say, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Nah, it's about 12 inches lower. Right? But both ways are a good way to get to a man's heart. Right? To get to his love. That's what that means. A way to show a man you love him is through his heart. Or through his penis. Right? His cock. Give a man a blowjob, he's going to think you love him. Give a man a sandwich, he's going to think you love him. He works his ass off for the woman. She should know he loves her. He buys her things. He has a fucking house for her. In my case, I built a fucking mansion. How does a woman say thank you? By leaving your ass. By taking half your shit. By telling the court that your kids are afraid of you. You see a fucking problem with this? Oh, I certainly do. As little as 40 years ago, 45 years ago, 35, maybe even 30 years ago, girls played with dolls. As soon as a girl was old enough to walk, she was handed a doll. And she started caring for that doll and treating it like a baby. Girls used to be trained to love, trained how to care. They were trained by their mothers how to cook, how to clean. They got a little older, they were trained how to look nice, how to talk nice, how to behave well. All that is important to men. Men have children because they love children. They love their children, and they want their children cared for. They want their children loved by their mother as much as by them. But women today aren't trained from that very early age to care, to love. Instead, they are told that they're just like boys, and that they can be good at sports and good at this and good at that, and they need to worry about themselves. They're taught from a very early age not to care about boys. Good cigar. Girls are no longer trained to love. To us men, it comes natural. We know what love is for some strange fucking reason. We know that we have to go out in the world and conquer it before we can have children, right? Unless you want to have bastards. That's a whole nother fucking story. But for the man with a good heart who works really hard, he understands love because he starts by loving himself. I try and encourage that in every video. Look in the mirror. See yourself. See the good things about you. Everything that you are good at. Say, I have a penis. I'm the man. I make shit happen. You love yourself, and then you go out and do it. The world is your oyster. But you start with self-love, and then you're able to give love to everyone else. What do women do? What do these feminist bitches do? They're raised not to love and care. It doesn't come natural to them. What they're taught is materialism. They can have what boys have. That's having something else that they're not entitled to. Right? They want a lot of money. They want a big old house. They want a car. But rather than go out, right, and do it the right way, which is find a man and love him. Instead, they go find a man, pretend to love him, and take his shit. If you haven't read it carefully, read the thumbnail for this video. It's pretty important. Because it tells you right where women are today. Even though the woman quoted in that, credited with saying that, she wrote that or said that a long time ago. And it's come to pass. Very prophetic. Right? I like doing manly things. This truck is an example. My car is an example of manly things. One of my professions is making beer commercially. I like cigars. I like scotch. I like guns. Right? I was a Marine. I'm an ex-Marine. I'm a real Marine. Semper Fi. Manly shit. And I also enjoy loving. I love my brothers, my fellow brothers out there. Other men, I love them with brotherly love. Men in my lodge, men at my work. I take care of everybody because I know if I take care of them, they take care of me. It's not so much as a quid pro quo as it is that's just the way it works. No man is an island. So in order to best care for your fellow man, you need love. Do you get that from women? Do you get that sense from women you work with? Do you feel that they love you? Right? Sure, there are asshole men out there. I know a bunch of fucking assholes, right? Fuck you guys. Bunch of fucking pricks. Out of my way. Right? They're assholes. Of course there's asshole men. But there's a lot of good fucking men too. And you love them. I don't see a whole lot of love from women.